Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Theorist, here with your host, Vanity Pride. So I did finally get a hold of a new camera app. So we'll see how it works. I kind of played around it before and see, like, it's still doing a little bit of what it was doing before, but at least it's slightly better than the camera that actually came on this phone. But anyway, shout out again and thank you to Phenom Uprising for the suggestion. So, as usual, we're going to talk about Ultra Despair Girls first. And again, as I said in previous weeks, I don't really have much to predict. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, because right now I'm at chapter 5. I'm guessing it's the final chapter. And they're trying to find Monica. And so, I mean, I'm going to assume that it's like with the other kids where they use a robot. So Monica will probably use a robot. They'll defeat the robot. That means that they will defeat Monica. I'm not sure if she'll die or not. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, there was this weird thing where, what's her face? Komaru. I always forget her name for some reason. Anyway, Komaru, kind of gets possessed by Toa's ghost. Like, so Monica's dad, also Haiji's dad. So we found out that Haiji and Monica are half siblings. But anyway, like, the ghost of the dad is like, oh, hey, do anything you can to stop Monica, which I would assume is like, hey, if you have to kill her off, kill her off. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, I did see spoilers, if I'm correct on this, I don't know, that the other kids are okay. And I mean, it kind of makes sense because their deaths aren't like punishments that we've seen in Danganronpa and Danganronpa 2. Even though there is a twist to Danganronpa 2, but you guys will have to watch to find out or play to find out. I don't want to reveal too many spoilers on that. But yeah, like I said, these kids, they might not be dead. I'm a little bit worried about Nagisa because he did die a different way. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the other kids are still around. Maybe they even got like the helmets put on them, because they only got dragged into the crowd by like the kids with helmets, but like they aren't harming people per se. Like the only things that are harming people are the Monokumas. So the kids aren't hurting anybody, so I doubt they would hurt anyone who they see as their leader, even though they're being mind controlled. I already know this, because I've been reading this amazing Komeigi fanfic, and I've seen a few spoilers on there already. So, like, a few of the things that I probably would have seen in Ultra Despair Girls have already been ruined / revealed to me by reading this fic. But the fanfic is so amazing that it's like I don't mind the spoilers. But anyway, I do want to go over like a few of these images. So I have screenshot a few of these images and sent them to my guy bestie. So I don't know if you guys have seen my posts on like Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, but it's these posts called My Guy Bestie Reacts to Dangan. And so he sent me like, he'll shoot me messages on Messenger reacting to like certain characters or certain situations or whatever. And he sent me like a few screenshots too. So then I was like, oh, well, I'll send him, some Ultra Despair Girls screenshots. Try not to send a lot of the spoilerific ones, but, still pass them along. So these are like my favorite screenshots. Because honestly, I feel like I haven't done Ultra Despair Girls enough justice by, just briefly talking about it in these previous videos. Like, I've only talked about it for like, maybe like a minute or less. Like right now we're running on like 4 minutes, but anyway, we'll look through these really quick and then we'll jump into Danganronpa, wow, into Tower of God. All right, so this one was really funny because, okay, so as you guys may know from the My Guy Bestie Reacts posts, he loves Asahina. Like, she is best girl for him. And I agree, she is best girl of Danganronpa 1. But yeah, I thought it was really funny when Toku was like, grr, even that occult moron and the swimming idiot bimbo are official members. Which, let me point out that my bestie plans to cosplay Hagakure. So for Toko to be dissing his best girl and his favorite character, that was a little much, right? All right, and then we'll skip over that one because it's not that funny. But this one, I thought it was hilarious because I was like, okay, I see you, Toko. Like, I see you attacking Sayaka here. Pop idols aren't virgins. Lottery numbers are fixed. And then, of course, Toko's hate for manga and light novels can be expressed here. She says, no, not even. I wouldn't wipe my ass with this. Light novels are the worst waste of paper ever. Which, oh, I know why I sent that to my bestie. Because I was like, well, the only exception of a light novel would be Danganronpa Byakuya, or Danganronpa Togami, I think is what it's called, actually. I read probably half of it. Like, I didn't read it. Like, there was someone on YouTube who was reading it and putting voices to it and all. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I did enjoy reading a little bit more about Togami because he is my best boy. And I actually do plan on cosplaying him too. So be on the lookout for that. All right, continuing on, Kirby Monokuma, of course, as I've dubbed this version of Monokuma. And then, all right, this is where it gets funny. So Toko here says, cut the attitude. I should make a daily routine of lubing up your doorknob with salad dressing. And so this reminded me, I don't know if you guys are aware of who Berleezy is. I've mentioned him before. He's like my favorite gaming YouTuber, and he's been playing Danganronpa. Like, that's kind of what got me into the series. So anyway, there was one episode, and I'll play a clip of it. You can just hear it now.
You would think that, here you go, booyaka shot right here. Oh, spit all on your doorknob. Spit all on your doorknob. Pause.
So yeah, so that was Berleezy for you guys. And so the whole doorknob thing, I was like, there's like a theme going on here because Toko, right, says here, I should make a daily routine of lubing up your doorknob. And so she says this to Kamaru, and then Berleezy, who was playing, of course, as Makoto, like, was saying that about Byakuya. So I'm like, what is it with, like, the Nagis and, like, doorknobs? Like, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, anyway, frickin' my favorite screenshot, like, the best scene of all time was frickin' Kurokuma being like, oh, what? Is this it? You're finally gonna come out of the closet. He says that to Kameda, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just gold. Like, even Kurokuma can pick up on that, you know? But anyway, that is enough of Ultra Despair Girls. Next week, I'm pretty sure I'll be done watching the playthrough, so then I will do a review of it and, you know, basically, like, reviewing my overall thoughts and then giving a sum up. Because I think I have, like, a funny idea of how to, like, summarize it. So that'll be next week, and it will be in its own video. But for now, we'll dive into Tower of God now. So I do want to do some shout outs real quick. Shout out to Instigator V2. They commented on my video 2 weeks ago asking where Evan was. And so I forgot to mention it last episode, and I was like, oh man, like, I'll give him a shout out this week, you know, because it's true, like, where the heck is Evan, right? And it's so funny because Evan does make an appearance in this episode, or this chapter, rather. And then I also want to shout out to Alpha Cent 007, because they were asking where Hatsu is, and I'm like, you know, these are valid questions, both of them. And for that matter, where the heck is Ship at, right? So my guess is probably, you know, so they're not in danger, and so then everyone's, like, more rallied together now, since, so I'm jumping ahead here, but Hwaryun had informed Andrasi that the station has a teleport function that still works, and so they'll be able to get out of the station that way. And so my guess is that Hatsu and Ship are already over there. That way they just have everyone there. And then basically the last person they're waiting on is Bomb. So once he is able to get away, then they can all teleport, as opposed to, you know, Ship and Hatsu trying to fight people and it not working out and, you know, all that stuff. So that's my guess as to where these characters are. And then as for Evan, we'll talk about him in a little bit in this review, since he did make a cameo appearance. But anyway, from the start, okay? Andrasi has already saved the people, right? And I'm like, whoa, damn girl, you're getting shit done. Like, that's the way to do it, right? But of course, she left behind Rachel and Yura, and of course, Traveler. Traveler wasn't in the panel, but I'm assuming that he was next to them somewhere. And of course, Rachel is upset about it. She's like, oh, okay, you only save the people you want to save, but not us. Cool. Like, what the fuck? which I know a lot of the readers aren't complaining, though I did see a comment in Webtoons where someone was like, oh, that bitch Andraste, like, how dare she leave behind my queen? I'm pretty sure Rachel will be okay. Like, honestly, if she was in the Danganronpa universe, she would probably be an ultimate lucky student. Like, let's face it. But anyway, enough of that. So once they are on the warship, Andraste's counting up, like, all the people she saved, and then she realizes someone's missing, and she's like, where is Irure? And then Candy's like, well, Drock has Irure. And Andraste's like, well, fuck. Like, you know, if she's in his lighthouse, like, it's going to be a lot harder for Andraste to recuperate Irure, right? And precisely that's when Hwaryun calls Andraste. And Hwaryun, of course, like I said before, tells her that, oh, this station has a teleport function. We can use it to get out. And it's funny because So Young apparently wasn't aware of this function. So obviously, I'm assuming her dad knows because he's the one who founded this floor and all that. I'm curious to know if her brother, I believe his name is Soa, I'm curious to know if he had any idea of that. You know, and then if he told her, or I'm guessing So Young pretty much found out through Hwaryun, but yeah. And, you know, speaking of Soa, we haven't seen him. You know, we've seen So Young for, like, that one panel, but I'm guessing that Soa's off daydreaming about Hwaryun somewhere. But anyway, they have a plan set, right? And Andraste's like, okay, cool, we'll be there shortly. But she gets a call, another one. And this time it's from Miseng, and it's in regards to Bomb. So then Andraste, you know, makes it outside to where Bomb is, and she's like, hey, Bomb. And Bomb is just like, girl, I got this. Like, don't worry about it. I'll stop her somehow, in regards to Sharon, of course. And Andraste's like, nah, Bomb, nah. Like, she's gonna kill you.
No, Jesse, no. No, Jesse, no.
All right, and then Hansung is even trying to intervene now, like Andraste is. But Stua Arthur had set up a defense, and it's too strong for Hansung to try and break through. And then, of course, Sharon is wasting no time. She's flinging some of her swords at Bomb. And Bomb, in the meantime, is summoning Black March, only for his attack, and Sharon's as well, to get halted by someone else's attack. And of course, that is none other than White and Karaka, who managed to escape. And of course, that is all thanks to Evan, right? And like I said, he made a quick cameo in this chapter. I was slightly worried for Evan for a second there. Because, like, you know, they're showing him, right? And Evan even says, oh, don't underestimate a guide. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, what if he gets attacked right now? Like, what if something happens? But for now, he is safe. So we're good. All right. Whoops. Skip down a little too far there. All right. So then we're back with Bomb and White and all of them. And it's funny because if I'm correct, Bomb released a small attack on White. And White's like, dude, what the fuck? And even I'm just like, damn, son, like, this dude is trying to help you out. But Bomb has his reasons. He admits to White's face, like, hey, despite how desperate I am, I don't want help from a demon. But White ends up knocking some sense into him, and even Bomb starts to realize, like, oh, well, using the thorn would make me run out of power rather quickly. But then Bomb gets an idea of combining the power of the thorn and Black March, right? Both the powers together. Of course, we are only left with that idea. Bomb has not put anything into action yet, and that will have to wait and see till next week. All right. So then we jump to Calivan and Jinsung. Jinsung is all bloodied up. His arm is messed up. I believe it was his right arm. I might be wrong on that, but one of his arms is messed up. And it's as Calivan promised. I mean, he did say that Jinsung was going to feel pain, unlike anything he'd ever felt before. And that has me super worried because Jinsung is one of my favorite characters. Like, I loved him, like, I think ever since, like, that end of, like, not chapter, wow, that end of season 1. Because I was like, oh, this dude looks really cool. But yeah, like, I don't want him to die. But, you know, on the other hand, I don't want Calivan to die either, because we just met him. And, you know, for this important character to be given a name, unlike a few characters that we were introduced to a few chapters back that had no name. They were just like other dudes or whatever the heck. But Calivan, you know, has a title, like a powerful title. has a name. Like, he can't die off this quickly. I mean, even regardless of getting a backstory on him, he can't die off that fast. So it has me torn. But, I mean, honestly, if I had to choose one or the other, I would choose Jin Sung. Like, I'm sorry, Caliban. Like, I know I was attracted to you. I'm still loyal to Kun, but Jin Sung, man, Jin Sung's one of my best boys. Like, let's be honest here. All right, and speaking of Jin Sung, the poor dude, he coughs up blood at one point after Caliban, like, gets another hit on him. And Jin Sung, you know, is seeing these droplets of blood floating in the air, and he's like, oh man, like, he thinks of a move that he can use. And then that also prompts him to think about how he never taught Bomb this move. And that move is precisely called Dragon Tiger Gate Ultimate Flare Wave Explosion. And I was just like, I feel like this is a play on Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Especially because before we get that title of the attack, Caliban sees like, oh, okay, there's like a tiger in one hand, dragon on the other hand. I don't know if I have the right hands when I'm saying that, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's one to each hand. And so when, you know, Caliban pointed that out, I was like, ooh, like, that's got to be a play on Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And then hearing the title of the attack, I was like, even more so. Like, I feel like there's, like, some kind of tip of the hat, I guess you could say, to the movie title. But anyway, this move that Jin Sung uses appears to be working. And so I actually do want to read this last bit. I'm going to do my best to do different guy voices as best as I can. And there is another guest appearance toward the end, so that'll be an easier voice for me to do. So let's get to it. So starting with Jin Sung, he says, sorry, I didn't want to kill someone with such a bright future ahead. But now I've got a lot more people to look after. So I seriously thought, like, Caliban was dying because, like, you know, his eyes are, like, rolled to the back of his head, like, he looks like he's dying, right? And Jin Sung continues, there's still so much that I have to protect, and I'm not even married. But then frickin' Caliban reaches up a hand, grabs hold of this wrist on Jin Sung, and Jin Sung is just surprised to see this happen. Caliban says, very impressive. It might have been deadly if you followed up with another hit. I'll take those two deadly arms of yours, which, oh, it made me cringe. Like, even in this next panel, you can see the arms, and I was like, oh, God. Ugh. It reminds me of Scar from FMA, and I'm just like, oh, no. And then, of course, you know, letting out a pained cry here is Jin Sung, like, oh, gosh. But he still has, like, a fight in him. He's still yelling at Caliban, like, you can't go. I told you, you can't get to the station, Caliban. So I don't know what he's gonna do now that he's armless. But, you know, he's not giving up. Like, that's, you know, he's so determined, and that's admirable. Like, I love Jin Sung. Like, I can't have him go like this, guys. All right, and then there's an attack that pierces through Jin Sung's abdomen. It's coming from behind. And I'll just go ahead and do the voice, and I'll save the introduction for later. Now, I'm finally starting to break through that thick skin of yours. And then, of course, it is Mashini Zahard. That is the thought going through not Caliban. Wow, Jin Sung's head. Maybe Caliban's, who knows? As well, you know? And then Jin Sung says, I tell you, young people nowadays... He's huffing for breath, and in his thoughts he says, sorry, Veal. They're so damn clever. Ooh, wish he's, like, disappearing, it seems like. Now, I finally picked up on that. And then Jin Sung ends here with, I don't think I'm going to live to see you again. Which, wow. Like, let me tell you, that last part of the chapter was insane. Like, I seriously thought Mashni was actually on Jin Sung's side. Like, I mean, if you remember that last chapter with, how do I say this? Hold on. If you remember the chapter where both Mashni and Jin Sung last appeared together, Mashni wasn't really making any effort to, like, kill him or really strike attacks at him. Like, she was just shooting the attacks at her men, basically. So I was like, okay, like, she is working with Jin Sung. You know, she's rebelling against her father. Like, you know, she sees, like, this is a corrupt government. Like, she wants nothing to do with it. She's gonna go about things her own way. So I thought she was really helping Jin Sung. But then this happens, right? Where she pierces an attack right through him, and I'm like, okay, I'm confused. I thought you were helping him out, but I don't know if she maybe foresaw that, you know, he was gonna face off with Caliban, and then she decided, ooh, this will be the moment where I actually strike him for real, for good. So, you know, she was deceiving him the whole time. It could be. But then I thought, okay, maybe, you know, Jin Sung obviously was kind of standing in her way, and maybe she didn't want Caliban to notice that she had shown up, and like she really is aiming for Caliban, and so I don't know, maybe she thought that Jin Sung would withstand her attack, while if the attack manages to pierce Caliban, because it didn't, we didn't see that the attack pierced Caliban at all. It only showed Jin Sung being pierced by it, but who knows if it reached further past to actually strike at Caliban. So my thought is, okay, maybe she thinks Jin Sung will be okay, you know, like he'll hate her for it, for, you know, giving him another wound unnecessarily. But maybe Caliban won't fare too well, but I don't even know about that. Like, I think that's too much of a long shot. So, I mean, there's various outcomes for this. Either Mashini really is on Jin Sung's side, trying to attack Caliban. She deceived Jin Sung, is actually on Caliban's side, or she's just out to kill both of them for whatever reason. I don't know. But yeah, so I guess I could do a poll in regards to that. Maybe I should. But, I mean, regardless of whether you actually take the physical poll or just leave your comments below like you usually do, let me know what you think. You know, what do you think is going on in Mashini's head? Like, do you think she's actually out for Jin Sung, out for Caliban, out for both of them? Like, what is going on? Because I'm, you know, pretty confused on that. I don't know what to think, and I don't know what to predict. So that's why I kind of threw out those three options, because it's like, one of them, you know, one of them can't be wrong. One of them is obviously got to be right. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, no, this chapter was really interesting. Like, right off the bat, it's like, oh, okay, Andrasi's done something. She saved people. And then, like, toward the end here, it's like, oh, shit, like, is Jin Sung gonna die, or what's going on? And then earlier, I was kind of practicing my notes, you know, reading them out loud, and it had come up that I was comparing Jin Sung's death to another death that happened. Well, I don't know if Jin Sung's really dead or not, but, you know, if he were to die, I was comparing it to Noblesse, where I have a favorite character that died. I know I mentioned this a long time ago when I was saying, like, oh, I might review Noblesse, and, you know, this is roughly where I left off. And so then I remembered Gurren Lagann as well, because I'm not gonna spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but there is a character that dies, and it totally crushed me, and I just stopped watching Gurren Lagann altogether. And it's funny, because, like, with Noblesse, I feel like I kind of did the same thing. It's like one of my favorite characters died. I stopped reading Noblesse. I had talked about reviewing it and picking up where I left off, and I haven't done that yet. I mean, it's been a few months now, right? And now Jin Sung is at risk of dying, and I'm just like, well, you guys, I promise you, I will keep reading Tower of God regardless of whether Jin Sung dies or lives. I won't abandon you. And honestly, I do want to take the opportunity to thank you guys for always tuning in and leaving comments, and, you know, I appreciate that you guys like these videos, that you enjoy them. So I enjoy making them. You know, sometimes some of them aren't as funny as I'd like them to be, but, you know, I do my best, and as long as you guys enjoy them, like, hey, who am I to complain? So that being said, thank you guys again so much. It means a lot, and I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts on this chapter, and especially the theories, especially with this last bit. Like, it was crazy. But yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will catch you next time. Peace. Yeah, so real quick before I forget, I totally forgot to give a shout out to Dr. Crafty. He's the one who created this shirt. As you may recall, this is the Ghoul School. You remember Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School? That was like my favorite Scooby-Doo movie. And so I had seen that Dr. Crafty in our, Discord, in our Discord page. He had posted like some fan art that he made, and it was precisely of Ghoul School. And I was like, oh my gosh, how awesome. And then he was selling some teas on TeePublic. And I was like, I have to get it. Like, I just have to. Because I don't know if you guys recall, I don't know if I ever shared pictures. I'll post it right now. But I did cosplay as Phantasma, and then two of my friends cosplayed as Winnie and Tanis. So that was like a lot of fun getting to cosplay that. I do want to do it again, and you know, hopefully we can get the other 2 girls in there, and maybe even like the little pet dragon too. I think that'd be so fun. It's hard to find a plushie of that character because I tried to find him back when we had cosplayed as Ghoul School, but I don't know. I'll have to like make one, or you know, make a commission for one. I don't know, or request a commission. But yeah, so I just wanted to give that shout out to Dr. Crafty. If you guys want your own copy of this shirt, or your own not copy, but if you guys want your own shirt like this one, then you can totally order it on TeePublic. So that is it from me, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.